Welcome to the bold analysis. We are disappointed as a country, very disappointed. The Inspector General of Police and the DCI Director Amin Mohammed and Kanja spent the whole day in Senate today trying to tell the country, and the two of them in a very well coordinated manner are saying one thing, that Albert arrived at Central Police Station safe and sound. But in this podcast, the OCS from Central Police Station gave a statement to IPOA contradicting all that, and in clear signs, Samson Taalam is saying, hamtanibebesha mzigo. So in this podcast, I want us to listen to the two versions. So that, what exactly do you believe? Because let me tell you, the Albert investigation narrows to two things. As of now, because he's not there, we don't have, he cannot defend himself. The Twitter post allegedly where he defamed Lagat has also been deleted. The question that remains is who killed him and why he was killed. To answer this question, there are only two theories that are on table. The first theory here is, for the 32 hours between the moment he was arrested in Homa Bay that is Friday afternoon, to Saturday 9 p.m. when he was allegedly booked at Central Station, Police Station, those 32 hours, did someone do something to him? Because with the autopsy report, we've also closed the theory of self-inflicted injuries. A third party was involved in making sure that is hit. So, the question here is, was Albert beaten at the cell, or did the people who arrested Albert, did they do something to Albert? And the tragedy of it all is that those who are interdicting people, they've only interdicted the Central Police Station officers, while the people who arrested Albert are walking scot-free. IPOA today gave the names of those who arrested Albert. According to DCI and Kanja, they are saying that Albert arrived safe and sound. According to Kanja, Albert even called his wife. He was even given a number to call his wife to tell his wife he was fine. And Amin is saying that Taalam, who is the OCS of Central Police Station, should be the prime suspect.
Taalam is the officer commanding Central Police Station. And from the totality of things, he should be treated as a prime suspect in the matter. The vehicle that was used to ferry the deceased from Homa Bay County to Nairobi was a DCI vehicle, GKC519B Subaru Forester. And I can confirm, Honorable Speaker, without any fear of contradiction, that from Homa Bay, the suspect was driven straight to Central Police Station and nowhere else. And for this, we can technically confirm. And for this, we can technically confirm even the movement of the Subaru vehicle by using the GPS system. some members were alluding to the fact that maybe the suspect was taken to DCI headquarters. And nothing can be far from the truth. From Homa Bay, he was taken straight to Central Police Station, where he was booked in the cells. And the actual booking, the digital booking, was done by the report office personnel. That vied OB 136-76-2025 at 21:32, and it says that the suspect was placed in cells while appearing normal. And that was captured digitally. So there's no room for human manipulation.
The status of the deceased when he was brought in to Central Police Station was normal. That information, the status of the deceased when he was brought in to the Central Police Station at that 23 hours, the status was normal.
Both the two gentlemen who appeared in the National Assembly are saying that the deceased arrived in Central Police Station in good condition. And then that is their statement. I want us just to get that. So the question is this. In fact, the statement by Kanja that he called the wife will confirm by tomorrow. And I believe the wife will be, another person is going to write a statement. But also, calling the wife to tell your wife akosawa does not necessarily mean akosawa. How about if all that is done under coercion? Kama wewe sema ukosawa ama tukuue. How about? So this account by Kanja that Nani called the wife, and DCI is saying that the DCI boss is saying they handled him well, even gave him refreshments. In their own statement, they're trying to absolve themselves of this. Now, let's pursue that narrative that Taalam is prime suspect. The fundamental question remains, why was Albert transported from Homa Bay to Nairobi? Kanja and Amin are saying the crime was committed in Nairobi, the complainant was in Nairobi. Number one, the crime was a social media crime. So I don't know whether now because of social media is in Nairobi. Number two, even deceased was staying in Voi. So the issue of Nairobi doesn't still come. What was the logic behind this? Also, the crime they were accusing Ojwang of, or the matter of DIG Langat compared about, did not happen in OCS Talam's jurisdiction. In fact, the question is this. There is a feeling that junior officers are being thrown under the bus. And this is the question. What will be the motive of murder? What will be the interest of Samson Talam, the central OCS, to kill Albert? Albert alimfanyia nini? If you go the direction of motive, and this is what the two gentlemen who appeared in parliament are hell-bent to confront. And I agree with those who are saying, I saw this situation. I think this was from I think that was Nyakundi saying, the only person who was alikosewa na deceased is the DIG. So any other person who was acting, if you want to take Taalam to the wire, you got to ask a question. Taalam, what is the interest of Taalam? Yeye deceased amemfanyia nini? Hakuna kitu amefanyiwa. So while we make any corners, but I think for us to get to the root cause of everything, you must be able to connect the dots between the deceased and his accuser. These other people in the middle, they are only acting on behalf of someone. And today, Taalam has issued a statement, and listen to this story by Citizen. Clear. According to him, he was not even in the station. He was just called when things went south.
The officer commanding Central Police Station, Samson Taalam, has denied any involvement in the alleged torture and subsequent death of blogger Albert Ojwang. Taalam, who recorded a statement on Wednesday at the offices of the Independent Policing Oversight Authority (IPOA), insisted he was only summoned after Ojwang had already been booked into custody. He claimed that upon arrival, he found the suspect in poor health and took the initiative to rush him to hospital. Questions continue to mount over the state in which Ojwang was brought into the station and the timeline of events that followed.
To the DCI, what criteria did you use to conclude that the OCS is the prime suspect? Because even for the members of the public who viewed the body at the city mortuary, the body does not actually appear fresh, meaning there was quite some time. It's either allegedly the officers at the Central Police were under duress to admit a half-dead person, because the time duration by arrival at Central Police and the time Ojwang was taken to Mbagathi, it was less than 1 hour. Ojwang was declared dead, Mr. Speaker.
Several other police officers have also recorded statements with IPOA as the investigation into the incident gains momentum.
And according to him, Albert arrived in the station when he was ready. He was already on critical condition. In fact, there is an account that he had refused to book Albert because his condition was not well. So I think the bosses wants to ensure that the statement comes that whatever happened inside Central Police Station. I asked a question to a very good subscriber of this channel, a former police officer. And this is what he's told me, and you can challenge my thought. He said, the practice is simple. If the DCI arrested that gentleman, even when politicians, and you can look at it, when even politicians are arrested of hate speech and all that, the first place, if you're arrested for interrogation doesn't happen at Central Police Station. And this is what that policeman is saying. If interrogation was supposed to happen in a police station, then it would have happened anywhere. Hata hiyo Nakuru, hiyo Homa Bay, ama hiyo Kisumu. But if this man was driven from Homa Bay to Kisumu to Nairobi, the only first place he would be taken is the DCI headquarters. That would be the first place. So anakuwa interrogated, then is brought back to Central Police Station, akae awaiting arraignment on Monday. That is the standard practice. The statement by Amin that they took Albert all the way from Homa Bay straight to Central Police Station is highly questionable. Because then what is the essence? What is the essence? What is that? If it was just supposed to be a police station, then why not any? Because there is no difference between Central Police Station and that one in Nakuru. But for him to be driven from Homa Bay to Nairobi, haizi kuwa anamrejea hadi Nairobi aweke hiyo resources yote. And remember, those who arrested him are DCI. The first place walingempeleka DCI headquarters. So Amit should explain where he was taken first. This statement that he came from Homa Bay all straight to Central Police Station does not add up, because you also need to look at it this way. He was arrested on Friday, midday. He arrived at Central Police Station at 9 p.m. on Saturday. That's a period of 32 hours. Within these 32 hours, could drive from Homa Bay to Nairobi take 32 hours? Come on. Does it take 32 hours? Remember, there is no record that he spent a night in Mawego. Did the driving all the way take 32 hours? IPOA says CCTV footage was tampered with. This is probably to conceal to hide in evidence. But if Albert was in good condition, okay, what would necessitate CCTV footage to be tampered with? What would necessitate that? It can only be a sinister motive. So two things are involved. The problem is this year are playing innocence to nail down the central officers. And either way, if tortured by these officers, amekosea wale wenye mshika, no. Remember, hajakosea wale, the complainant is DIG who ordered. Even if tortured, remember, either way is tortured in the hands of the police. Even if tortured in Central Police Station, amekosea Talam, no. Who ordered? And that is why, in a lean and the narrow aspect of this, the police cannot get away with it. There is a question by Muitirere.
I'm not buying that theory. Why did the top leadership of Kenya Police, why were they so quick to interdict the police officers who are at the police station and not the guys who arrested Albert? It doesn't make sense. And the only reason I feel the guys who arrested Albert were not interdicted was because they were being protected by the top cops. You cannot tell me a cell sentry, knowing very well that if anything goes wrong in that cell, they'll be held liable, would go inside, beat up Albert. No. See, I was a police officer and I am a police officer still by training, and I worked there for some time. And there is no way I'm getting into the cell and beating. I know it will come back to bite me. Who will do that? I have a theory. I don't think the guys who are at the police station beat up that guy. I don't think so. It's a theory. I don't think so. Their biggest mistake, and that is what is going to take them down, their biggest mistake was not recording when that guy came in. I have a feeling he was in the cells and he had not been recorded. So they decided to write an OB much later when they saw the guy was either sick, very sickly, or dead. They decided to write at that time. Yeah. And especially if you are a young police officer and you are the cell sentry. I don't think those guys were young, but you are the cell sentry and you're being told that ule jamaa ameletwa juu ya mdosi wa si mdosi wa mdosi wako. This is the second most powerful person in Kenya Police. Ukweli ukiambiwa ati akae hapo bila kuandikwa kwa OB, kidogo utasita but utakubali. So I have a feeling walimweka, but venye waliambiwa either amegenya au he was too sickly, they decided to write in the OB. Otherwise, I have a feeling that guy came in extremely sick or beaten up or he had been tortured. I wonder how those cell sentry did not record that, because I am not going down. I am me, I'm not going down on your behalf, Bana. Or if he was not, he came, he was brought in at that 9:20, and then the DCI guys took him away and went with him and brought him back at that 2 a.m. having been tortured. And I would want to see that OB if they are saying he had marks of torture or he was sickly or something. Otherwise, my friend, me I'm writing what I'm seeing. Kazi ya ubina kwa kuandika kile unaambiwa na kile unaona. Uwezi record mtu amekuja kwa cell na unamweka kwa cell akiwa unaona kwa hali mahututi. Uwezi, bro, uwezi. Sioni polisi mwenye anayefanya hivyo. So those are the two theories. That guy was brought in very sickly and these guys were told not to write the OB, or they were ordered not to write, or he was brought to Central, he was never booked, he was taken out again by the DCI, and he was brought back again at 2 a.m.
Who has also worked as a former police officer. I want you to listen to his argument. Who is this police officer mwenye ataeka mtu cell na mtu ni mgonjwa? Even if that is the position. And this is what I've realized. I've followed that session in Senate. Kanja wants the truth. Nothing but the truth. But then he's leaving the IPOA to make that truth come from. I'm very sure from him he'll be pushing IPOA to give us the truth. Remember, it's IPOA that even told the country about the names. Albert case has a potential of kicking out Lagat from Kanja succession. And when you listen keenly to Murkomen, when Murkomen was being asked, and this question, Murkomen was being asked why investigation is going on. One person that is dominantly named here is Lagat, who is DIG. And because of his rank, he can interfere with this investigation. Why is this now not in office? Murkomen is using that blanket clause of innocence until proven guilty. Innocence until proven guilty works. But here is a situation where your juniors are being investigated while you are also linked to it. With all fairness, I think the country is not asking too much when they are saying Lagat should pave way for investigations. Number two, the issue of torture chamber is somewhere in the shadow. And this is why people are shaken. Remember, let me tell you, if Samson Talam, if we can get CCTV from Central Police Station and that CCTV shows that the man arrived injured, the question would be, alipigwa wapi? It's a very, alipigwa wapi? And if the country then decides, if the country is convinced that DCI are the ones that tortured Albert, then that will bring the question of torture chambers. And that is why this issue is being pushed at Central Police Station. Third observation. Arrested on Friday night, Friday midday, then booked on Saturday 9 p.m. 32 hours. Where were they? Lastly, DCI police units are fighting and no one is willing to carry the cross. Itakuwa ngumu. But on this one, we go for the big fish. On this one, we go for the big fish. Kila mtu andikisha statement tuone. I think Parliament is going for, the Senate is going for recess. But I wish, of course, the other subcommittee is going to be tomorrow. I wish they bring even the small fish. And curiously, I'm wondering, in all this conversation, kwani mtu hata kuchukua video? We would want to see a video of that man. Polisi wakati alimkuwa ampeleka hata Baghdad hata walikitifu, akufikiria hata kuchukua video. We are waiting for that video. Because one thing that has to be confirmed, Albert alifika kama amepigwa ama alipigwa akiwa station. Either way alipigwa. Either way, hata kama alipigwa akiwa station ama amepigwa kwa barabara kama analetwa, wale wenye anampiga hajawakosea. That is the question. So, haujanikosea. Sasa kama, for example, kama Albert hajakosea wale polisi, na wale polisi ndio wamempiga, swali ni, walikuwa wanampiga on behalf of who? It's a very, you cannot bring, because you cannot say Taalam is a suspect. Yes, it's a suspect, but anaweza kuwa ameua huyo. Akimuua, anamuua, Albert alimkosea nini? So this one, let us spare us of these Ulabalov small. And I agree with those who are saying whatever happened in Senate is just to cool the nerves. I've even seen Governor Sakaja telling the country the way he's given a job to the widow of the widow of Albert. Good, fine. But it's part of the PR. That job ni sawa. Si hata job anaweza pata hata Homa Bay. Kwani lazima apate job Nairobi? Si hata Homa Bay County kuna nini anaweza fanya kazi Homa Bay County. So, this is a part of cooling nerves. But the conversation must be clear. And this is so unique. A father cannot lose a son inside a police station. And we are being taken through circus. Hapana. I agree with what Mutiriri is saying. But then Mutiriri was my former boss when I was in Standard. Frederick Mutiriri, thank you.